work with an opportunist. This is a cancer,
Well,
right?
sure you can, because
No,
the
you
whole
can't.
point of liberalism is that when you work together with other people, that's
Oh
the
my
best thing for
God.
everyone.
No, the point of liberalism is everybody involved has to believe in liberalism for it to work.
Bro, dude. Wait, I don't get where he got that definition from. Like, the entire point of liberalism is to work with different people? Wait, what are you talking about? No, that's not what liberalism is about. What the fuck? I thought liberalism was about like fucking, yeah, social contract economy type shit, right? Globalism.
Well, no, because you have like liberalism is all about individuals. It's all about how everyone comes to the table with their own idea, with their own wants, and even you can say,
What was the question? Okay, so basically what the Asian guy who doesn't look Asian but he is Asian guy is talking about is that he's basically saying, okay, hey, I think it's way better to work with Trump instead of against Trump. If you try to work on things with Trump, then therefore you are able to get better outcomes, and that's what liberalism is all about, okay? But then what Destiny is saying is that Destiny is saying, well, no, Trump is an opportunist, and we both agree that, you know, he is an opportunist. Um, and you can't work with him because he is fundamentally opposed to liberal values, right? You can only work with him if he actually believes in liberal values. But since he doesn't believe in liberal values, you have to be against him. So if I have to give it in the most neutral terms possible, that would be what each of them believe. All right. Yep. Got it.
everyone is just ultimately selfish, and still liberalism works under those conditions. That
I mean, would you consider it a liberal? If 80% of us all across the country agreed to abolish the Constitution, are we still a liberal society?
well, I mean, y-
Uh-oh.
like, what did we replace it with? Like, did we replace it with nothing?
Or with a king?
With a king? I mean,
Because you could do that. I mean, our Constitution could be amended, theoretically. That is possible. I'm just saying that for liberal, something that I think people don't give enough credit for is in any given group, everybody kind of has to agree to play by a set of rules. And when you start breaking those rules, you step out of bounds a little bit. A little bit can be tolerated with, and you can negotiate a person back, but you can't you can't play with somebody who wants to play completely outside of the rules.
Dude, not the fucking anime pause is like you're stupid. No, you're stupid. Nani? He said that I was stupid. I didn't expect retaliation. It's like he did the thing. Okay, he did the thing. Okay.
If you had a sibling and
no,
you
I
played
disagree. I disagree with that.
there's a difference between
can.
like playing with somebody who, like, if you played like chess with a sibling and they make a bad move and you're like,
Unsure what type of line of thought Destiny's throwing out. Okay. Um, dude. Okay. I mean, like he's giving the same line of thought that I've been giving. I mean, a lot of the time, right? Like, basically, you can only play along with Republicans if they're obeying the same rules that you are. But the problem here with the Republicans is that they aren't playing by the same rules. So because you guys aren't playing by same standards, you guys are not. You're actually the one that's like stupid, right? You're actually the one that is like falling for it, right? Because they're not playing by the same rules you are. That's essentially what he's saying. I thought it was pretty clear. In my opinion, at least. I think it's pretty clear.
I'll let you take that back. Okay.
Well, then you just play a different game. You play the game that they want to play.
Yeah, but the game we want to play is democracy. And if they want to play a different game, we don't want to play that game. That's what I was saying. Playing the different game means we're fundamentally losing.
You can't just assume and assert that they don't want to play democracy.
I don't have to assume it. I just listen to what he says and what he does.
Well, like maybe he's doing that because he gets so much pushback from the.
Well, he's just beginning to say about how Trump's side are unable to reason with, incapable due to not agreeing with liberation. No, not liberation. Liberation refers to like releasing somebody from dictatorships or getting out of prison or something. He's talking about liberal values, right? Where it is liberalism, where it's because you have a set of rules, you have a set of standards that typically all people who abide by liberalism goes by, right? Not to be confused with the liberal left, right? The philosophy of liberalism is everybody plays by a same set of rules and everybody abides by these rules and does not cross that line, right? His argument again is that Trump crosses the line of the rules of liberalism. So therefore, like the liberals themselves shouldn't be abiding by these rules either, right? Because he's not willing to play by the same game that they are, right? Like if you have like if everybody agrees to play checkers, right? But then somebody goes like, well, you know what? I'm just gonna play chess instead. The person who still plays checkers is the dumbass, right? Like, yeah, that's basically what he's saying. There are no rules. It's a zero-sum game. It's all power versus zero-sum game. That is way too simplified, in my opinion. If the Dems have done everything, it's like, because they do everything. If they don't, yeah, okay. I doubt Destiny is saying we should fight fire with fire, right? Or am I misunderstanding? Well, he's not prescribing an action here. He's trying to describe a state of being right now, okay? Yeah. Depending on the conclusion suggested at the end of this argument, I may have to judge its quality. Okay, Loki, you can have fun, I guess. Yeah.
Democrats, right? Like maybe he's doing that because no one actually understands.
The liberals are no longer projected to win. They actually won in Canada now. Hey, let's fucking go, dude. Let's go, dude. Trump gave Carney the election. It's fucking over.
I think that that's a totally valid excuse when you're.
No,
It's fucking over,
I'm not
dude.
But if you're the
talking, I'm not
president of the
talking
United
about
States-
Donald Trump. I'm talking about Republicans in general. That
They need better leadership.
No. Like Democrats do not understand what Republicans want. Like no one is talking about the fact that Republicans don't give a shit about the material conditions. And they say
That's fine that they can say that, but all they cried about for the last election was material.
Well,
so
because-
what are we supposed to believe? It was supposed to be the
but
cost of everything was
no
too
one
high.
is the only person that really talked about this is Jordan Peterson. And what happened to Jordan Peterson is he got ejected.
Why?
Like,
Jordan
he got,
Peterson doesn't just talk about it. He talks about a lot of crazy
but
shit.
what I'm saying is, it shouldn't just be Jordan Peterson talking about meaning and trying to put some scaffold around what meaning is, right? Like, there should be more people talking about it. And Jordan Peterson has his own idiosyncratic ideas
agree.
that aren't all
I don't
correct.
disagree with what you're saying.
Okay,
I'm
he's
not sure
lost
if
me.
politicians are the best place to get meaning from, because that's a
No. So what I'm saying is, it's the fact that academia and the elite and the establishment as a whole have not given people the words to talk about their crisis of meaning.
Yeah, but usually it doesn't come
And
from there.
so-
Usually it comes from our culture, right?
No, a lot of the articulation, the way that people talk about things, it comes from the top. It comes from the people that are having intelligent conversations about it. Like liberalism didn't come from the culture; it came from academia.
I could be wrong on this because I haven't studied this area, so I'm on very unsure ground. But like my guess would be more that
Me too,
that the culture dictates. So people that are making movies and music are probably going to be dictating what our conversations are more than somebody in an academic institution writing a paper about sociology or something.
Like it comes from like those underground, like feminism came from underground academic conversations. Liberalism also it came from like established institutions, right? And so a lot of that. Like,
Sure, but we're not talking about like
it might
necessarily
not be
feminism or
one
liberalism. We're talking about just kind of like narrative or purpose, right? It's a little bit different.
Well, I mean, I don't know, because the feminism movement is what gave women the language and the articulation to say what their grievances were and say it in an intelligent way and say it in such a way that they got men on their side.
What do you think? Okay, what do you think it should come from?
I think it should come from academia. I think more people should have worked with Jordan Peterson, took him more seriously, and said, how do we articulate this lack of meaning? And because when there is nothing to articulate, then we're going to talk about economics. Then we're going to talk about economics. She's like, of course, because if
Do you think Jordan Peterson was effective in?
Dude, this guy's, oh God, this guy was just the Jordan Peter. He's just here to shill Jordan Peterson. Oh my God, why?
His approach to academia, saying all of it was rigged and that he didn't
no,
trust like 15
I think
different-
Jordan Peterson was idiosyncratic and he made a lot of blunders and he was disagreeable with people and he could have been great, but he fumbled the bag. I think
You got about 1 minute.
He brought up the fact some of us don't give a shit about material condition. Huh? Where? Okay, maybe I missed it. I was trying to listen. Wait, is he crying? He looks like he's like his eyes are red. What the
There,
fuck?
Benjamin.
yeah, I think the
Wait,
lost
he
my
is
train of thought.
crying.
That was my fault. So
Wait, he is crying. What the fuck? Did I miss something? Wait, what the fuck? What is going on right now? He is
You
crying.
said
I was gonna
Peterson
say.
fumbled the bag. I asked you.
Dude, look at his eyes, and then he sniffed and then wiped away a tear. Look.
and he was disagreeable with people and he could have been great, but he fumbled the bag. I think
What's
you got
happening?
about 1 minute there, Benjamin.
yeah I think the I lost my train of thought.
That was my fault, sorry.
Do you see that?
You said
Seriously.
Peterson fumbled the bag. I asked you because I feel like it's just so weird because I feel like because Democrats are the only people who are willing to ever self-reflect, that Republicans are just unimpeachable when it comes to questions.
Yeah, this guy is a true Jordan Peterson fan. Okay, if you're crying in front of the audience, that's a Jordan Peterson fan. Okay. Yeah, okay. Sorry, I don't want to make fun of people crying, okay? I'm sure he genuinely believes what he believes in. It's just that what he believes in is just kind of retarded, okay?
Questioning motives or questioning like
Whatever.
understanding people, because like Jordan Peterson would say that like, well, all these trans people, they just want to make it so that they can compel me to speak about their pronouns in this way, and it's like that's probably not really what most people care about,
I
right? But like,
agree.
so he's doing the exact same thing, but for some reason it's liberals that have to analyze ourselves for why we're so mean and fucked
We don't
up.
have to analyze ourselves. We're in control of academia. That's why we have to do it. We're in control of any rational thought.
Sure, but like
Or,
MAGA is
rigorous
literally,
thought, rather, not rational.
I would say metaphorically, before MAGA was opposed to academia. Now, literally today, Trump is trying to destroy academia. So,
Well, yeah, and this is the thing.
So
like,
that you
we,
think
we
Republicans
need
are
to,
gonna
we
be-
need to fix this. This is critical that we fix this.
okay, but right now Trump's trying to pull funding from places, and he's trying to blackmail places to get them to
I know.
change their curriculum and everything. So,
I don't like it, but I think if we don't do something
Wait,
about
what?
it, if we don't moderate,
So
it's
do you
going
co-
to
do
get
you- is
worse.
it- do-
and
so-
there's going to be.
but you think there's a path to redemption, capitulating the ISIS, but he's trying to destroy the
I
very
don't have
thing they're
time
trying to
to.
reform?
I don't have time to get
Okay.
into it, but I do think there is a path to redemption, like a concrete one. But
Apparently, he's a Jordan Peterson fanboy for saying he had one valid point. Yeah, except that wasn't a valid point, and not only that, he has a complete misconception of what Jordan Peterson did, right? Or who Jordan Peterson is. Right now, in this young guy's mind, all right, Jordan Peterson is like the savior of humanity, the great linker between all things, right? He is this person that academics refuse to take seriously, and that's why everybody failed, and that's why Trump was voted in, right? He has a complete warped view of who Jordan Peterson is. How is that not like fanboy behavior? It's 100% fanboy behavior, right? He has it's like me saying, oh, Destiny had like one valid point. I just wish academics took him more seriously. And if people listen to Destiny more, we wouldn't have like Trump in office right now. Like, do you realize the way that I come off here? The way I come off here is obviously like a Destiny fanboy, right? So like, yeah, I'm just applying it back to fucking Jordan Peterson, you know?
I think I'll end on. Like I was talking to Trey earlier today, and he was telling me about like he's a very successful guy. Like he's got a job. He's
You are
got a
the
family.
lesbian.
He
I am,
just became
yeah.
a father, so congratulations to Trey. I think, and he talked to me about like he's got two houses. He's renting out one, and so it's like, but he feels the economic strain. And so how is someone like that, someone so successful, feeling economic strain, feeling rising grocery prices? How is he feeling that? And I think it's because he feels like. And I think I feel this way, that what are we aiming toward? What are we angling toward as a society? Like, what is beyond just this material wealth? And it's, and the thing is, of course, if you have enough money, you can create your own meaning. And so it's like when prices start going up, when housing gets harder, it's not that we're struggling to survive. It's that it's eating into my ability to go beyond, to really become. To really tell a
To go beyond. All right, okay, Mr. Dragon Ball Z.
story that I'm
Okay.
proud of, and I think that those beyond me will be proud of. And I think
yeah.
that is
Okay.
something that we really need to think about more rigorously and try to give that language to everyone so that they can say something beyond just, I don't like
Yeah,
inflation.
plus extra.
All right, Benjamin, thanks a lot. Excellent.
I mean, like, I'm not gonna be too mean to him. You know, he seems like a nice guy. Okay, he just seems a little bit like, I don't know, like he seems a little bit like, I don't know, distracted. You know, just a little bit.
That was a bend.
Oh, this guy is okay, guys. Okay, okay. If you're in too much pain sometimes, okay, stop watching right now, okay? Because this guy will make you hurt, okay? Like I'm gonna say this right now, okay? If you guys are not interested in pain, okay, because this guy is actually painful, all right? I remember this guy. This guy's insane. This guy's actually paying. All right, we'll see.
How are you?
But
I'm
good
doing
luck, okay?
Good.
luck.
So
Okay,
I
wait.
have a.
Do the microphone thing.
Yeah.
Get it right in
Thank
front of
you.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a little uncomfy.
Yeah, you're good.
Just a tad. So I have like a. I don't think I'll be able to get to it all at all. And again, thank you for.
What is this, an in-person Jubilee thing? Dude, Destiny just has like debates IRL commonly, okay? That's it.
Doing this. This has been fantastic that you give people the opportunity to do this, and thank you for Travis. So the first thing, I guess, is to piggyback off of the few conversations you just had. I don't want to keep going and beating a dead horse.
I mean, in terms of
'cause that's
format,
kinda-
oh no, it's just like they just take turns like debating him. That's it, and they have a time limit, but the time limit is pretty like generous, honestly, in my opinion. Guys, again, if you enjoy my commentary, if you enjoy the content I'm watching, if you enjoy the content that I am creating, okay, just remember, okay, to hit that like button, hit that sub button, and please, as Queeman says, open your hearts, open your wallets. All right, donate some money. All right, I'm unemployed right now. Okay, I want to keep being unemployed. All right, anyway. All right, thank you guys. I appreciate you guys.
how it's probably going to feel. But I feel like you have this very opinionated, polarized view of, I'd say,
Are you guys other political media people? No. They're just people who genuinely want to debate Destiny, but in good faith. That's it.
the
I honestly hope you'll get a job
extreme
someday.
right.
Yeah, me too.
And I think you group the extreme right in with kind of the right, because there's a lot of, at least from my conversation circles, and they're not very active online, and I think maybe what you view and what you see is the active right community that's online, which is absolutely unhinged, and it's absolutely crazy. But I think there's also a lot of people out there that voted for Trump that see a lot of the things that he's done, and they do not speak up as much as they should, and I think that they should. But the few conversations that I've had with people that did vote for him, I am the one included, to where it's, okay, well, you know, the tariffs are a bit crazy, let's dial back, or, okay, well, you know, these maybe.
Yeah, regular people. These guys are like the most normal. Like, just look at them. Like, when I was watching this, a lot of them like are actually well-built people. Like, I'm saying, like, they look fit. All right, like they don't look like internet shut-ins or anything like that. I mean, they probably are terminally online. Okay, let's be honest, they probably are terminally online, but like it is like they actually seem like really like grass touchy, also terminally online people. Yeah, but you know, these same people are also retarded. So yeah, okay. Now this guy was retarded. Yeah, he is retarded. Okay.
The deportations is another thing, along with the fact of the pardoning of the January Sixers. And you also
Like,
said something
I'm not gonna
earlier
deny this guy
about
was
the
retarded.
Jan Sixers, to where you said that nobody on the right spoke up. Are you saying like the right influencers, or are you
In
just
the media,
saying?
yeah.
Okay, yeah, I agree with that. Because I'm like, there were people that spoke up, but it's just not anybody who's in the prevalent media, which is again the issue. So yeah, that's my big issue. But
He
I
needs
guess
to
my
breathe.
first
Do you
question
know the
to you-
differences between somebody who adamantly votes for Trump and somebody who reluctantly votes for Trump?
What?
There's none.
I
I think that's
don't
the
know about
issue.
that.
Is there's like I'll find a lot of
True.
these people who are like, oh, I don't know, I don't fully support it. Like at the end of the day, a vote is a vote. It all gets counted up the same way. So I mean, it doesn't
True.
really matter if he still has support. Like Donald Trump is an extremely unhinged, like quasi-fascist, like just an unbelievable person, and I can't imagine what it would be like to even reluctantly vote for somebody like that. Like something is so broken, I think, with the concept of America right now, if that's the case. But so I don't know when people are like, well, there's not like the most extremist supporters of this guy who, is extorting law firms all over the country and openly bragging about it, is installing tariffs on islands that are only inhabited by penguins, is deporting people without due process gleefully in the middle of the night, has hired an anti-vaxxers ahead of the age of, like, I mean, there's like a billion different things you can say. And it's like, well, yeah, but Kamala was woke.
Well, I don't think that's the only issue. I think
guess
there was
she
a lot
technically
of
was
people's
woke.
issue, to where the issue with Kamala, that at least I heard, was that there wasn't like a consensus around her to put her as the primary. There was not a primary for her. She just kind of was the front runner, just suddenly.
Yeah, but nobody believes that. Nobody actually cared about that.
I don't know about nobody. I think
They
nobody.
didn't, because
I
if they
think
did,
nobody in
because
like the.
find me any of these people, and I want to see how much they were tweeting about the fact that Donald Trump refused to debate any of the other primary challengers.
Well, that's again where my issue comes in, where they weren't active online. They just had an opinion, and they, so that's
I mean, if it's
where.
not showing up anywhere in the media anywhere, then I mean,
Well, again, that's I agree with you there, where they need to make their voice heard and they need to actively be active online. But
Or anywhere. It doesn't have to be online. It could be in the
Sorry.
media. It could be a
Well,
politician.
exactly. Yeah, but
Why can't you? But you know why you can't do that, though, right? It's because the Trumples will destroy you.
I don't. Well, yeah, they'll try. Yeah, I agree with that.
They'll
I
try.
couldn't say that they'll destroy you because a lot of them are delusional. So,
Well, I mean, that you won't have a political career anymore. You'll be gone, right? Trump will primary you. You'll get kicked out of office. Like nobody will want to vote for you. And
especially if you're a politician. Yeah.
yeah, like there are no like the never Trump Republicans are just retirees.
Yes.
now.
Yeah. Agreed. A lot of the people that I know still think that he won the 2020
Dude, he's okay. So to be clear, he voted for Trump, but he's like conceding on every single point right now. Well, like, what is happening here? Like,
election, which I don't quite understand. But
okay.
you know, so I guess
All right.
That's
Whatever.
like fucking insane, right?
yes. No, I agree. 100%.
News, try not to get mad. My main criticism of Destiny for political shit is that he has diverged from his, in my opinion, original asset of ability to mitigate emotionally soying out like SJW style. Wait, what? Oh. I feel like he does soy out. I feel like he does soy out all the time. Like, okay, my main frustration with people who talk about Destiny, like, I'm a fan of Destiny, okay? I watch Destiny, whatever, right? But the thing is that, like, I don't also deny, like, his issues, right? Like, this entire thing with, like, oh, try not to get mad. The reason why I get frustrated sometimes is because people, because his entire, like, sex leak scandal shit, right? Now it's like suddenly Destiny is making bad political points. Suddenly Destiny is not good at debating. Now suddenly Destiny is. I see this in people all the time. Like maybe I'm unfairly painting it on you or something, but I just see people like making this all the time. It's like, oh, because of this whole entire sex leak shit, like now suddenly Destiny has like the incorrect political opinions. Like, yeah, that's my main frustration. Okay, I'm just saying. Yeah, okay. But also I disagree with that, okay? Like I don't really see that either. He goes out soy out SJW style. And if he tried to soy out SJW style, like people would still make fun of him for that. Like it is what it is.
But
right?
that's
But like you're just like casually dropping what would be the most unbelievable conspiracy in the history of all of in the history of all of governments across the planet for all of time.
I agree.
That election was rigged.
Yeah, but there's also the people on the left that I've also seen in my Facebook, groups or even just Facebook friends that I have that are just now saying that the 2024 election must have been rigged because there's no way Trump should have won.
Yeah, but do you know who's not saying that? Kamala Harris.
I
or
agree.
Any Democratic leadership.
No, I agree.
And you know who is saying it on the right side? Donald Trump.
I know, I agree.
So it's not. Yeah, it's like a different world. And every single I don't know if. I think there was one cabinet person who acknowledged that question and said that Donald Trump had lost the 2020 election.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think everybody else talked around it. They wouldn't
They
even
did,
answer
yeah,
that.
including JD Vance.
That's kind of crazy
Very
that
smart one.
the world's leadership in democracy currently has a president that doesn't believe in the outcome of the last election he lost.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. And it's a big problem too that I would say most MAGA Republicans are the same way.
You know, like again, right? Like again, this is like my biggest frustration, right? Because I will say time and time again, I actually do think Destiny should belong on the sexual offender list. I actually do truly believe that, right? But like I've said that opinion a ton of times, but then everybody will just automatically go to the whole like sex. It's so crazy because I feel so gaslit. Okay, I actually feel so gaslit because after his entire drama came out, suddenly he's like not good at debating. Suddenly his politics is not good. Like I feel so. It's like you never believed these things in the first place. If like the sex leak scandal could change your opinion on his debating skills, right? Like it's clear that you don't actually like. You never respected him in the first place, like, or you never respected his skills in the first place. Yeah, that part.
So, but I do have another question that's like not relating to any of this. I wanted to know your opinion on, and I think I know it, but
How do you
your
feel
opinion
gaslit?
on.
No, Dio, I'm not talking to you specifically. Sorry, this is not pointed towards anybody specifically, okay? Bro, I'm not talking about anyone. Okay, whatever, man. I'm just saying in general.
The deportation of what's his name, Kilmar.
Kilmar
believe.
Abrigo Garcia. Yeah.
I haven't dug as much into the legal stuff on that. I think
she
ideologically I'm
crashing
opposed
out?
to it. I think legally I'm opposed
Okay,
to it.
whatever you want to think. Okay.
But it gets into weird kind of like foreign policy territory, or how much you
Yeah.
want to dig into that?
It's well, I was digging through the legal process of everything that was going on with him, so I could just go very briefly into it.
So I guess a quick thing. The reason why I have an issue with it is traditionally, prior to maybe Al Qaeda, I guess, when we thought of like terrorist organizations, you think of these like small groups that are non-state actors. Typically, it starts to get really weird when a terrorist organization also happens to be like the government or administrator to a region. Now, for ISIS, it was kind of different because they took over parts of countries that were still controlled by other people. But like, would you say like the Taliban, would you consider that like a terrorist group? I actually don't know if the U.S. is. I don't think they do. But like, but we would think of them as kind of a terrorist group.
Yeah.
But it's also like they're the government in Afghanistan, right?
Yeah.
And so like,
Or
let's say that
Hamas.
you want to protest, and you want to support for Hamas. I mean, like, Hamas is the government of the Gaza Strip. So are we basically just saying for every single person here with a green card or a visa, you can no longer protest on support of or on behalf of the Palestinians in the Gaza Strip because it's related to Hamas, which is foreign.
Well, you're
organization?
thinking of Khalil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, what did you say?
I was talking about Kilmer. Kilmar.
Oh,
Sorry.
fuck.
Not
Kilmar, wait, is Kilmar Abrego Garcia?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
my bad. I thought you said
No,
Khalil.
no, you're okay. Yeah, they're. Yeah.
Oh, for the Abrego Garcia one, yeah,
Yes.
that seems like it was really bad. I'm opposed to that, yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's what because he was here with I believe he was charged in 2019, and then he was allowed to stay, and then without due process, which is my biggest issue, was he was just shipped off.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'll have to pull out my phone for 1 second because I
Okay.
have all of them written down.
I'm just kind of curious because we went over a few things that seem to be deeply troubling to me. I would say like
Of
any
course.
one of these things are an insanely troubling thing. You said you voted for Trump. I'm guessing this last election.
Yes.
What would you have possibly been afraid of from Kamala that you think like supersedes any of the stuff or the totality of the stuff that's happened so far with Trump?
Well, honestly, to me, my biggest reason for not voting for Kamala, was to the exact reason that I stated earlier, and that I heard a lot of these.
Wait, what was the exact reason earlier?
The exact reason was that there was no primary for her, and the whole reason I did.
Wait, why
vote-
would that have to do with whether or not you thought she would have been a better candidate for
Because
Trump?
it wasn't really that. It was more so the fact that I heard a lot of what are the problems, or I guess not problems, worries about Joe Biden from the right when he was running, that he would, ban guns, or about like a lot of crazy things. And then I heard a lot of crazy things about Donald Trump.
Okay, you've heard or have you researched their policy positions? Dude, this is the most informed voter ever, dude. God, he's so informed. Holy shit.
And I just put them up against each other, and I'm like, well, these things could come true, or we might do okay.
Okay,
So-
but I'm like curious. If you look at the record, so Trump banned bump stocks.
Yeah.
Biden didn't take our guns.
Yes. Oh,
So I feel like that's
100%.
1 point for Biden.
Yes.
What was another issue that we were worried about between Biden and Trump? Biden got the infrastructure bill passed. Trump wanted to do that and wasn't able to. Foreign policy-wise, I mean, we were involved arguably with less stuff. There was the Ukraine stuff and there was the Gaza stuff. But we exited Afghanistan, even if it was sloppy. We exited Afghanistan. We weren't involved in the Yemen stuff anymore. We weren't involved in anything in Syria, basically. I'm just curious, like, what was the thing? If you look at the 4 years of each, where do we give Trump points on? Where we're like, oh, I would rather have 4 more years of Trump than 4 more years of a Biden-esque.
Well, because I think I was going to say that's kind of a hard question. It's not really, because a lot of things that people give Trump credit for, he kind of walked into from the previous administration. So that's where I'm like, I can't really give him the credit for those things. That because Obama should be given credit for those things. So, at the same time, people that said the same thing about Biden, which I don't really agree on. So again, that's where me casting a last minute vote, because that's basically what it was. I was just a very undecided voter. I would like to have a third party in, but again,
Well, I'm still trying to figure out what was it about Trump where you're like, this guy's going to be the better one than Kamala. Like, on what one issue?
It wasn't really that. It was more so just that I weighed the negatives of both.
Nah, dog. Nah, dog. Look at my average American. Nah, dog. Look at my average American. We're so cooked. same outlook. Well, I mean, like he's trying to expand into the mainstream, so I can understand why he calmed down. Regardless of how people feel about our involvement in Afghanistan, the way we left was a disaster. We literally left millions of dollars in equipment behind, and now the Teletubbies have it. Yeah, but like that's like the most minor position ever compared to everything that Trump has done, right?
Both, and I'm like, I don't know what could be correct.
What were
And
the
I think,
negatives that you weighed for
Good
Kamala?
night.
well, again, the unrealized capital gains, which you said again, which I agree
Would
with
never
you.
happen, right?
No, I agree with you. That would never happen.
Okay.
But that's where there were things with Trump where I did not at all anticipate that he would have this gigantic MAGA base behind him. I thought, okay, well, there's got to be someone who will hold him accountable. Where
Well, didn't he literally say that though coming in? Wasn't he saying, like, we saw J.D. Vance saying he would have supported him on January 20th. He would have voted for him.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So we saw that he was trying to find people who were loyalists to him the whole time. You saw him try to fire everybody in the final weeks of his presidency last time.
Mm-hmm.
Did we just expect that he was going to fail at everything again, I guess?
I guess fail at that, yes. Not fail at everything, but fail at bringing all loyalists in, and maybe it would be a little evened off. Was at least my hope. Yeah, but that obviously
It
did
just
not
seems
happen.
crazy to me that like we could have either voted for Kamala, and our biggest worry was an unrealized capital gains tax, which probably would have never happened. And I'm just making an assumption here, but I'm guessing you don't have hundreds of millions of dollars in unrealized
Oh
capital
no, not
gains.
at all. It was just, it was just no.
So
I
it's
would
not even
love
real-
that.
okay.
Yeah.
So there was that, and then for Donald Trump, it was like there's the potential for all of this absolutely horrible, atrocious stuff to happen, but I don't think he'll pick the right people to make that happen. Like I feel
His
like if
own
I was just
outlook?
looking at both of these candidates without knowing anything about America or elections or whatever, and somebody's like, well, on this side you got a candidate who might
I don't know what I'm
do
supposed to
maybe a
say.
bad thing, but probably not, and then this other guy, he could actually be Hitler 2.0, but he probably won't be because you'll have people around him that'll stop him from doing that. This seems like an easy choice. So I'm trying to figure out what is driving us away from one or towards the other.
It's mainly just, I guess, the driving factor was just the hope behind it. So there just the hope
for
of that that wouldn't happen.
The whole chilling out for the mainstream arc, I think right before or after as he was starting that path was when I felt I was yeah, that's fine. Lots of people thought that way, right? But you know, from his perspective, like if he kept the same like edgelord dude bro kind of vibe, right? Then like Nebraska Steve, right, is what you're talking about. Nebraska Steve. Then you know he wouldn't have gotten to debate like Glenn Greenwald, right, or Alex Jones, right, or any of these people. I feel like it would be really hard to appeal to that kind of crowd.
Happen.
Well, no,
That's
but
it.
what would happen? It was the hope that he would just show up and die, or what is like the hope?
No.
What are we hoping that would happen?
No. I guess what I was hoping what would happen was the economy would continue to build in a better way.
Why
Not
do you
that
say
we would
continue
because
I mean,
it was
in the-
building.
yeah, under
Yes.
Biden.
Yes, it was. I agree with that.
So why wouldn't we choose a guy that was building it? Wouldn't that make more sense?
Because there were certain things that that Trump ran on that I agreed on, like deportation. I agreed on that, not how extreme that he's putting it out at all, but I agreed.
I miss Filthy Frank. Well, the thing is that nobody is into that kind of content anymore, okay? Like I don't know, like people want old YouTube back, but the current audience is just not into that kind of stuff, right? Like right now there's a reason probably why he moved on to Joji, right? There's probably a reason why he moved on to making music instead, right? You know, don't you have a plushie? Yeah. We ignore that, okay?
Which again, it's not like Biden didn't deport anybody. Biden was actively deporting people, but again, I would like to end one of my questions kind of goes into this was I would like to end the catch and release at some point. I don't know how that would even work or happen, or what we would put in place of that, because it would have to be something.
Sure.
But
Okay, like here's something that bothers me. So you say you don't even know how that would work. The reason why you don't is because nobody actually talks about any of it.
No, I
They talk
agree.
about like getting rid of things or like destroying our immigration policy or whatever. It's like, okay, well, what are we going to replace it with? Like, what's an actual solution?
Well,
and I think
that's-
that's an issue. Is that like there was a border bill. For whatever reason, Republicans decided they didn't like it, even though it was a Republican bill for helping border stuff that Trump didn't want passed at the end of Biden's term. Well, now are we past 100 days yet for this term? We still have no legislation relating to the wall at all.
Who's house
Nothing
flushes win?
related to the
Hell
border,
no,
nothing
dude.
related to asylum. Like, really, we have nothing. There's no legislation at all, I guess. So, like, what happened? do we not care
What
about
the
that,
hell is
or
this?
It's not. I guess yeah, because it's like, I mean, not me, but Trump, yes. And that's again where one of my biggest issues comes in, is that
well, but then I'm also trying to figure out this too, because this is so hard. So people get mad at me, and this sounds mean, and I don't mean to sound mean, but like
No,
sometimes
you're
I feel like people don't have the real problem. They just talk about things that they think they have problems with because the media's told them they have problems with. Okay. Now I don't know. I'll be honest. Okay, because the only thing I know about Michigan is you guys cheated in every football game. Okay, against Nebraska. All right. Michigan and Alabama. The thing I guess I'm perplexed by is that two things that you're voting for is
Dude, it kind of sucks how this guy's vote like matters more than mine, right? Because I live in California. He lives in Michigan. He's in the fucking swing state, dude. And it's like he's just fucking meandering his way through the conversation. And I'm sitting here like a fucking retard. All right. And I'm wondering like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad I'm informed. And then he has the same voice as mine. I'm like, fuck, we're so fucking cooked, dude. It's fucking over.